Good morning and welcome to the second quarter earnings call of Biocon results for the first half of fiscal 2021. Let me start by wishing you and your families Shubha Navratri, and I hope that you all are safe and as we all wait for the vaccine to arrive, hopefully not before too long. Let me start by commenting on the financial highlights for this quarter. We delivered a year-on-year revenue growth of 10%, wherein total revenues increased from 1,606 crores last fiscal to 1,760 crores this fiscal. Net profit for the quarter after adjusting for exceptional items stood at 174 crores with net margin profit at 10%. EBITDA for the quarter was 407 crores and EBITDA margins stood at 23%. However, core EBITDA margins, that is net of R&D and other licensing income, were at a healthy 32%. The profitability this quarter was impacted due to one, higher R&D spends, increased staff costs and other costs, and of course, forex losses. We recorded gross R&D spends of 165 crores this quarter, which corresponds to 13% of revenues ex Syngene. And of this, 148 crores have been reported in the P&L. This compares to 104 crores last fiscal, so a net impact of 44 crores. This, of course, R&D spend, as you know, is very integral to our business model and therefore, something that augurs well for our pipeline growth. During the quarter, we booked a forex loss of 18 crores compared to a gain of 16 crores last fiscal. And this amount is reflected in other expenses. Now, let me come to other, aspects of the financials. Our healthy core margins, which were at 32%, continues to reflect the strength of our operating model. And we are confident of getting back on track as we navigate through operational challenges amidst what we are going through right now in terms of the COVID-19 pandemic. During the quarter, our value unlocking plans for Biocon Biologics progressed further with Tata Capital Growth Fund making a primary equity investment of 225 crores for a 0.85% stake in the biosimilars business, valuing Biocon Biologics at equity valuation of $3.5 billion and an enterprise valuation of $4 billion. This investment will enable Biocon Biologics' future growth through prudent capital allocation whilst it continues to invest in R&D and manufacturing to meet the growing demands of patients worldwide. Having reputed investors and as our partners in this journey is reflective of the confidence they have in Biocon Biologics and our biosimilar stories, where we want to basically deliver affordable access to these transformative products. Now, moving to segmental business comments, generics continue to report a revenue growth of 8% year on year, which is in line with expectations to 599 crores. Both our APIs and generics formulation business continue to grow well. I'm pleased to announce that we were able to ensure business continuity in our generics business. In terms of biosimilars, we have reported 11% growth this quarter at a level of 676 crores. And this basically has been realized out of revenues from both developed markets and the what we refer to as most of world markets, which actually has almost a 50-50% split. The key highlights for the biosimilars business was, of course, the commercialization of our biosimilar Glargine under the brand name Semglee in the US market. This is the third product that we have introduced into the US and other regulated markets under our partnership with Mylan. And this is in addition to the Fulphila or Pegfilgrastim and Ogivri or Trastuzumab biosimilar that we launched in 2018 and 19 respectively. Ogivri has gained a 6% market share in the US, and of this, the 420 milligram formulation has actually garnered a 10% market share. And in Australia and Canada, it continues to be the leading biosimilars. A biosimilar Trastuzumab. Fulphila held on to its 15% share of the US market, and it has actually last week had a slight increase to 17.5% in terms of its market share. So the trends are in the right direction, and we expect this to keep improving over the coming quarters. With the launch of Semglee, Biocon Biologics becomes the only company to have a biosimilar monoclonal antibody, a therapeutic protein, and an insulin analog commercialized in the US. And we now occupy a position of impactful influence in the biosimilar segment. We have expanded our business in Europe, and I'm pleased to report that we have just launched Semglee in Spain, which is the third largest market in terms of what is considered the EU5 by value. As a part of our Mission 10 Cents, we have also recently signed an MOU with two of the, what we refer to as two of the the municipalities in Philippines this quarter. And we also continue to see a strong demand for our insulin products and our biosimilar products across the globe. We have seen some challenges this quarter in terms of our biosimilars business, largely related to operational challenges posed by COVID. As you know, personal travel has been very badly hit in terms of this pandemic, and some of our personnel who could not travel to both Malaysia as well as in terms of our marketing activities have therefore had to face some challenges, and our business consequently has also been impacted. But this is now largely behind us, and we hope that the next quarter and the rest of the year will have a much stronger performance based on the way we have dealt with some of these challenges. In terms of our research services business, this has had a very good quarter, 12% year-on-year growth, revenues of 520 crores, and both the discovery services and the dedicated R&D centers have actually performed very strongly. I would say that Syngene's operations have more or less been fully restored. In terms of novel biologics, our partner Equillium is all set to commence pivotal phase 3 studies for a likely approval in COVID-19 for itolizumab, and they have also continued with their other clinical trials in GVHD, lupus nephritis, and uncontrolled asthma. And these trials also continue to progress very well. In terms of our branded formulations business, we continue to focus on dealing with the COVID pandemic, and we have a large number of products to offer for COVID treatment, including Araflu, which is Favipiravir, Cytosorb, which is an extracorporeal device that mops up cytokines, Alzumab L, and Syngene has recently started manufacturing Remdesivir. under a voluntary licensing agreement with Gilead, which we also hope to launch in India very soon. As you know, Remdesivir also received full approval from US FDA today. So that also puts that molecule in a good spot. We have also commenced our phase 4 clinical study on 300 patients as required by the DCGI for itolizumab. In conclusion, I would like to say that whilst we are still facing certain challenges in dealing with many operational issues in COVID-19, I would like to also report that we are almost back to normalcy. Most of our operations are near normal, and some of them which are yet to come to the near normal stage will hopefully be back to normal operations within a month. COVID-19 has strained healthcare systems globally, and in fact, this has brought a sharp focus on affordability and accessibility, where generics and biosimilars will play a very key role. And we believe that Biocon is in a very good position because this is very aligned with our own mission of providing affordable access to these essential medicines. We expect generic formulations to continue to drive growth in our generics segment. And of course, we expect the biologics business to drive overall group growth based on its very strong and promising potential over the coming quarters. So with that, I will conclude by saying thank you for your attention, and I look forward to answering questions, if any.